Christmas, put a little extra joy on your list. When you shop your local Salvation Army thrift store,
Don't you know sarcasm when you hear it?
Hi, Frank. 'Twas the night before Christmas. Wait, 'twas? What's 'twas?
Nerdvengers, we're going to be getting started real soon. If you could do me a favor and drop a little like on the video, on the stream, that would just be so nice. Holy cow, that would just be so nice.
Donut shop.
Wait a minute. Chet, what? What do you mean Charles Murphy just dropped the scoop saying that the Charlie Cox Daredevil will show up in the MCU in Spider-Man 3? What? There's no way that's real, right? What is happening?
2 days ago, I was at the donut shop, and I said, "Hey, donut guy, you got anything warm back there?" He says, "Try the fritters. They were. What does that even mean? They were. You must mean twere. The fritters twere warm. What's that? We're out of time. Oh, I'm fired."
Oh, man. This is going to be a wild episode, ladies and gentlemen. Hold on to your butts. I'm going to need just a couple more minutes.
What, dear? Grace!
Wiped out on holiday gifting?
What's up with this ad blocker? Chat, I told you about the goddamn ads yesterday! Jesus Christ.
She passed away 30 years ago.
Hold on to your butts. It's going to get pretty wild today. Hold on to your butts, Marvel fans. Hit them with the emojis, Nerdvengers. I don't even know what to do right now. I'm like, what is happening?
You serious, Clark?
720 again? Screw you, Trinity. You don't know my life. You don't know what this is like. Hey, hello, everyone, and welcome to the morning stream right on time as per usual. I'm already in the studio, of course. I'm here. There's weird, magical Star Wars Santa snow all over the tower, all over today, and you know, it is shaping up to be quite a show, ladies and gentlemen. It is shaping up to be quite a show. This is pretty unusual. Usually we're pretty on top of things. 20 minutes ago, I just saw it a couple of minutes ago myself, Charles Murphy from Murphy's Multiverse.com confirmed that Charlie Cox's Daredevil will be showing up in Spider-Man 3. Now, I have no idea what is in the article, what that entails, what that means, the implications, yada, 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 blah, 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 blah. My mind is blown, and I'm skeptical just like many of you, but I will say this. Charles Murphy is no slouch. Charles Murphy is no joke. If Charles Murphy says something, I believe it. Reminder to some of you out there, and I'm not going to get hot today. Right, chat? We're going to keep it nice and chill. Holidays, Christmas, love, in the air, all that bullshit. Yeah, so I'm not going to get super pissed, but here's how it went the first time around, just so everybody remembers. We talked about this months ago. Toby, Andrew, everybody coming back. We talked about it months ago. And I'd said all I needed to know was that Daniel Richtman was reporting it to know that there was validity to it. And many of you were like, "Rah!" Like, there's no way. Oh, there's no way this will happen. This is too crazy, etc., etc. So, let's just remember from last time, and let me tell you that Charles Murphy is possibly even better than Daniel Richtman. Possibly even better. He has sources that are just as good, if not better. Like, seriously, it's actually kind of crazy how good his sources are, to be completely honest with you guys. So I'm kind of still in shock right now, so I'm trying to just work through and kind of look at some web pages and stuff as we're going through this together. But I just want to know right away in chat. I mean, how crazy is this? How crazy is this? Everything that you're hearing about the multiverses, we're gonna dive into it today. I got freaking notes. I got handwritten notes. You understand? Like, we're going in today. Like, we're going in. Okay? And so, on a scale of 1 to 10, how excited are ye Marvel fans for what's happening, for what's coming? Because, you know, there could be some people that are skeptical. There could be some people out there that are like, I think it's too much. Oh, I just think it's too much. Back in my day, you had one superhero. You had a one superhero movie. You know, we could get some people like that. So you let me know. Where's the Nerdvengers at? Let's see. See what y'all are saying. Let us see. Oh, yeah, if you guys could smash like, too, that would be very helpful. I'm all over the place. I'm all over the place today. Yeah, a lot of very positive. I see a few, like, dips, right? 7.5s and whatnot. A lot of, like, 11s and crazy shit like that. By the way, just so everybody is aware, if you're new here or maybe you're just catching the live stream, you watch maybe the regular videos, we are saving Q&A for the back half of the stream. So I'm going to blabber. I'm going to go through my notes. We're going to talk about everything I know. We're going to talk about a lot. And then we will save time for Q&A. And that is when I will go over all the super chats. So you can do a super chat now. It's all good. But I won't go over it until later. Okay? Just so you know. Okay. So there's a lot of positivity. A lot of positivity on this. I know. Show notes. I know. I can't even do show notes today. That's how ridiculous today is. Because I don't... No, we're just gonna go into it. Okay. So, let's begin. And Elisa, just so you know, like if you're watching, we're actually going to probably do this in 2 videos. We'll probably do this into 2 videos because I think the Daredevil stuff deserves its own video. So maybe I'll take some of the stuff from the stream and work on a singular video after that. Let me explain. Let's start with the Daredevil news. We'll talk a little bit of Daredevil. Then I want to dig into what I was going to tell you guys about Spider-Man regardless of the Daredevil news. It is quite crazy. But I'll talk a little bit of Daredevil, and then we'll get into the Spider-Man stuff, and then we'll go read Charles' article and see what exactly he is talking about, okay? We'll live in a little bit of suspense with that, okay? So, here's the thing about Daredevil. First of all, raw reaction from the gut. Just saw this 20 minutes ago. It blows me away. It frankly blows me away because, once again, it's Feige putting essentially the fan first, and that includes the fan within himself. Now, there's much to be said about Feige. I think Feige is the greatest producer of all time. I think he's super cutthroat, actually. I think that he's more underhanded than people realize. We talk about this all the time, how much of a gangster Feige is, the different little subtle things that he does to, they're like power plays. They're subtle little power plays. I'm sitting back, I'm just loving it because the dude's just a big sweaty nerd. He's just a big sweaty nerd, and I love that a big sweaty nerd is calling the shots in Hollywood, doing his thing with all these suits and everything like that. Love it. So, I never imagined that Feige would be able to get Charlie Cox as Daredevil into the MCU. I actually thought... pardon me. I actually thought it was an impossibility. The main reason why is business. Because Netflix is seemingly the biggest competitor, or one of the biggest competitors for Disney moving forward. Disney is entered the streaming wars. It's all about the streaming wars now. We talked about this yesterday. We're going to talk about it tomorrow as the Investor Day thing happens. It's all about streaming. Netflix is a big old competitor for Disney. I would have never imagined in a million years that anything would be done with those characters, the Netflix characters, in the MCU, because what that would be doing, this is essentially the whole reason that Sony and Marvel beefed, was because Sony didn't maybe realize or understand or appreciate the fact that them just being associated with the MCU and everything that Kevin and that Feige had done over there gave them like a lot of goodwill. It like sort of was this sort of rubbed off on them effect, right? It just gave them a lot of positivity for their movies. Not to mention that Feige actually produced their movies. Anyway. So I never would have imagined that this guy would have just done anything to elevate those shows on Netflix. And I actually said before, and I don't know, wouldn't this be wild if this actually came to pass? I actually said before, the only way I could see this happening is if Disney bought the Netflix shows and was going to throw them on Disney Plus. I haven't heard anything about that. I don't think that is the case. And so given everything that we know right now, if Feige actually pulled this off, meaning mostly convinced the people at Disney to go for it, I'm not even talking about Netflix. But if he was able to convince like the people above him to go for it, then wow, we have to start to rethink what's possible. Okay? like what is happening? Like for real, what is happening? We might have to rethink what is possible if he was really able to do that. Okay? I don't know, man. I don't know. Okay, so now let's talk about this. So I want to talk just in general about the multiverse news. Yesterday, before Charlie Cox news this morning, right? And by the way, please go to murphysmultiverse.com and check out Charles's article. Charles is awesome in the game, okay? Does great work, doesn't get enough buzz. Go check out murphysmultiverse.com. Please. Please, go check it out. Go check the article out. But before this happened, and his site's probably crashing right now anyway, so whatever. But before this happened, the big news yesterday was that it was confirmed by one of the trades that the actor that played Dr. Octopus in Sam Raimi's Spider-Man universe was coming back. Then a bunch of news broke out, okay? This is what happened. Essentially, a bunch of news broke out like that. There were a bunch of independent media and smaller media kind of coming up and being like, oh, well, I know this, and this, and this. And then there was even more larger people, a little bit more respect, clout in the insider scoop game that started speaking as well. And basically it all hinted to what we've been talking about for months, that Andrew is signed. Well, okay, so Andrew is currently likely signed, you know, and again, for legal purposes, I live in a third floor basement. I have no sources. I'm just some guy on the internet. I have a below average IQ. What else? You know, whatever. Blah, blah, blah. Okay? But it's kind of like what we've been saying. Tobey is the X factor and likely the hard one to sign, right? And I think they actually likely want Tobey. They want Tobey for more than just being Spider-Man. But we're going to get there. We got notes. Okay, so the reason that I find this whole situation really interesting with this Spider-Man stuff is because there's only been a little bit of news this year that was actually massively impactful, right? Like, literally, there's actually not a lot of news this year that was impactful. Okay? So if you think about it, the only real news that happened this year for our verticals, there was two big DC things. It was the Snyder Cut happening, being real, mind-blowing, right? Then it was the DC Multiverse, right, with the Keaton story that then broke open a ton of other stories and speculation and rumors. So the DC Multiverse, all centered around the Flash film, was another huge story that broke out this year. And then really it was Spider-Man 3, Doctor Strange 2 / all this Sony Marvel news that bubbled up. It basically all had to do with big Spider-Man 3 news that then, in the same way that the Flash news did, sort of cracked open a whole bunch of news. And people just talked about all these things that they had heard and knew about. Okay? And like, even back then, guys, like, I had people telling me like, look, Tobey's gonna sign 100%. He's just negotiating, you know. Andrew's gonna sign. They're bringing everybody back. Like, they're bringing everybody back. And at the time, I was skeptical, right? Because I was like, well, okay, so yeah, Feige might want Tobey back. Like, let's be real. Like, Feige might want him back. Sony definitely wants Tobey back. But why would Tobey come back? You know what I mean? Like, you can't just say that it's a done deal until the dude signs on the dotted line, right? So I couldn't imagine, like, I was just always a little bit skeptical about it, right? Now, I had been hearing some things that over the past couple of weeks made me pretty confident that, it was a done deal. It was a done deal. When in fact it's probably been done for a while in certain regards. But I just think that I really wanted to start there because, again, what we do here is keep track of and talk about the nerdy news, what is actually going on with these different productions, with these different fandoms. So we've been talking about this for a long, long time. And if you go back and watch the other videos that we've talked about, I talked about Mary Jane coming back. I talked about Gwen Stacy coming back already. Like, totally. Like, I've literally been talked about that because we've known that it was a reality for a long time. Okay? Something else that's kind of crazy about this is, and this will get into the connective tissue that I think they're setting up. If you take a look at the example that they set with WandaVision, because WandaVision is going to crack open a lot of doors for us. It's going to solve a lot of mysteries, because WandaVision is the first part of the new multiverse series of movies, and the next part is Spider-Man 3, right? So we can just think about and look at some of the things that we can see in WandaVision and extrapolate out from there what changes and what things might be happening in Spider-Man 3. Okay? But I just want to say that we've kind of known a lot of this already. So you should go back and watch some of the other videos. You know what I mean? Like, legit. Because I understand skepticism. I understand people not, wanting to believe or whatever, but over time, hopefully it will accumulate and our track record will be like super good. And we're not even scoopers. We just are good at identifying who are the good scoopers. That's it. Like, hands up. That's it. You know what I mean? So that's with regards to that. Now, here's the other thing that I think is really important. Casey Walsh, who's another one of these really good insider people that you should be paying attention to. Casey Walsh was talking about on Twitter how a lot of these new these characters that are being reported on are cameos. They're likely cameos. And if you begin to think about what the plot could be for the next Spider-Man movie, I think where most people's heads are at and what we're led to believe is that this is going to be a film about Peter being on the run, kind of having a crisis of identity, having all of these sort of reluctant hero type thoughts, and him being on the run and being hunted down for being the murderer, right? We know a couple of things for sure. We know that Doctor Strange is going to be in the movie and that Doctor Strange is going to play a mentor role for Peter. Benedict Cumberbatch is going to play a pretty significant role in this movie, I would imagine. He's getting probably, if not top billing, he's getting pretty decent billing for this film. So I think although there's a lot of crazy stuff coming out and there's a lot of multiverse stuff to get excited about, I think it's important to remind everybody that this is not going to be Spider-Verse. Like, Spider-Man 3 is not Spider-Verse. But it might set up Spider-Verse. Okay? Spider-Man 3, I still believe, will have the main villain of Kraven the Hunter. I still believe that. I strongly believe that it will have Kraven the Hunter as the main villain. And this is mostly because Feige really wants to do that character. You know what I mean? Like, he really... By the way, Kulahai, welcome to the Nerd Vengers. You're a Nerd Venger now. Sorry, I can't see and I can't pronounce anything. It's a bad combination. Feige really wants to do Kraven the Hunter, man. And by the way, it just looks like there's way too much that Feige's doing for other people in other studios, including Sony, which I think we might find out more about tomorrow, for him not to be getting what he wants. Now, let me just do let's talk one more thing about Spider-Man 3 intimately, and then we're going to talk about what we really need to talk about, and that's the multiverse at large. Really, it's about Doctor Strange 2, and really, it's about Ant-Man 3, and really, it's about Secret Wars. But let's wait. Let's get there. Let's do this. Let's come correct. Let's do this right. So, I want to start by talking about this thing that I think some Spider-Man fans or Marvel fans have a problem with, and it's the fact that, like, Peter will once again have a mentor figure in the film. Right? He's still going to have a mentor figure. When's he just going to get out on his own? Why does he have to be Peter Parker, freaking Peter, Tony Stark, whatever? Now he's chilling with Doctor Strange. Look, I will just say, the dude's being hunted, probably doesn't have a lot of friends, probably can't be hanging out with a lot of people that he normally hangs out with, at least in the first couple acts of the movie. I think Doctor Strange isn't necessarily so much a mentor figure, even though he will play a mentor role. He's like a weird lifeline figure almost, like Peter's lifeline to normalcy, to being able to have communications, to being able to have a relationship with somebody while all this chaos is happening around him. I think we need to be patient and see what kind of a relationship they're going to set up with this. I think Peter is going to grow a lot in this film. And having said that, I think that a lot of the cameos and the multiversal things that are being set up are meant to aid in the evolution of the Peter Parker character, the Tom Holland Peter Parker character. Meaning, it's almost like a Ghost of Christmas Past kind of thing, right? It's almost like they're taking Peter, possibly, through all the different things that happened to the other Spider-Man, to the other Peter Parkers. Maybe Tom Holland is going to get a look at, really, the cost, the sacrifice, the weight of being Spider-Man. Because Tom is really new to this, right? I mean, he's just getting started. Just a kid from Queens. And I think it might be kind of cool for this kid from Queens to see all these different versions of himself and to see all these different things of himself, understanding that, hey, man, this struggle ain't going to stop, dude. This is Peter Parker. This is who you are, Peter. You've got the Peter Parker look. You've got charm. You've got a heart of gold. But you also kind of have Murphy's Law type luck. And your life is going to be a struggle. Like hard. You know? And so I say all of that just kind of to say that I think there's people out there that are concerned that this film will not service Tom Holland's Spider-Man or his Peter Parker as a character. And to that I tell you, shut your mouth when you're talking to me. What you're saying makes no sense. It's a Kevin Feige movie. It's the end of a trilogy of MCU movies that he thought he was going to be able to finish before. Almost didn't get to finish. And now he's going to be able to finish it. Shut your mouth! Shut your mouth when you're talking to me. But also, yeah, there's a lot of reasons to not be worried about that particularly. How do I become a member? There should be a button next to the subscribe button. And if there's not a button next to the subscribe button, someone will drop a nice link into the chat, and then you'll be able to join the membership, and you can join our behind-the-scenes membership streams where I talk a whole bunch of crap on everybody that I can't talk about when we're not members, you know? Yeah. Should come by those streams sometime. Those streams get hot. And you also get to join our watch parties. We're going to be doing a watch party for The Mandalorian this week. We're going to be doing a watch party for Wonder Woman. We're going to be doing a watch party for the Snyder Cut. We're going to be doing a lot of watch parties. Come on by if you're a Nerdvenger. Come on by, baby. Yeah, if somebody could get a link to AJ Ryan, that would be great. Okay, enough of all that. Look, my point is, curb your expectations for Spider-Man 3. They're just going to begin to set up the multiverse stuff, but also don't get down about it because, yes, it is going to blow your minds in all the ways that you think it's going to blow your minds. Because really, and that's it for the notes. That's it. Well, let's knock down that blue light. Damn. Okay. Anyway. That's it for the notes. Here's the point, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, Brandon, welcome to the Nerdvengers. You're a Nerdvenger now, my friend. You're a Nerdvenger now. Okay. When all this news was happening, I remember talking to you guys about this, and I said, there's so much coming out right now that I promise you there will be things that people miss that slide under the radar that people forget. Maybe they've even heard about it, but they're forgetting. And so I again want to kind of coach you up a little here. You know, Captain's got to teach stuff, you know. So listen up real good. Open up your ear holes and shut your mouth hole. the same man, Daniel Richtman, who I know, oh, we can't trust him. Remember, oh man, I'm really not trying to get mad, but there were so many of you guys that were like, why are you all of a sudden putting all this trust into Daniel Richtman? You've clearly lost your mind. You're putting too much faith into this. Anyway. So Daniel, the same guy that was 100% correct about everything he reported early about Spider-Man 3 in the multiverse, who was 100% correct, also, at the same time, was talking about Tom Cruise Iron Man, talking about John Krasinski and Emily Blunt perhaps coming back to play alternate versions of Captain America and Black Widow. He was also talking about how Marvel Studios wanted Tobey Maguire to come back and be Uncle Ben on top of being the Spider-Man from the Sam Raimi universe. They wanted him to be the MCU 616 Uncle Ben. Ladies and gentlemen, the craziness is just getting started. Just beginning. I think, and we've been sort of pontificating about this for a while, I think Sony and Marvel have their situation figured out. And not just a little bit. A lot of it. And I think that the MCU and its multiverse moves have been actually aided and improved by the delay that we've had this year. I mean, that's kind of obvious, right? That's kind of obvious. But it's potentially even crazier than I had first anticipated. Now, we're getting into sort of wild speculation here, but here's what I think is going on. I think Feige is planning up his Secret Wars. And I think he just cut Sony into the deal. And I think because he cut Sony into that deal, I think he gets anything he wants. Anything he wants. And, you know, we'll get into the Charlie Cox thing in just a minute here. But if you think about it, doesn't the Charlie Cox thing prove that you... Is there anything this dude can't get? Like, legit, is there anything this dude can't get, is what I'm starting to think, right? So, I think things are about to get way crazier, way crazier than we're maybe even ready for. I think, obviously, Willem Dafoe, Green Goblin, is going to come back, obviously. Maybe not in this film, but I think he's obviously on the table. And Norman Osborn in general is a huge deal, massive deal for Feige. Very important character. A big piece of the puzzle for Feige moving forward is Norman or a different character if he couldn't get Sony to play nice. I think at this point, you have to assume they're playing nice. We have to assume. So I think the plan with like the Sinister Six and Spider-Verse and all of that, I think the majority of that happens over in Sony's universe. I don't even think Marvel's going to mess with that too much. That's going to happen in Sony's universe. Feige might help them. He might like sort of help produce it, you know, do that sort of a thing. But that's all going to take place over there. What Feige's going to build towards is Secret Wars. And then the payoff for Sony is, hey, after you've done your thing for a while and some of your stuff's working or popping, we'll take a better look at everything. Then I need you for Secret Wars again because I need Toby, I need Andrew, I need some things. I'm going to need some things. I'm going to need some of those toys back for Secret Wars. When we go to Secret Wars, Sony, I'm going to need them toys back. Did Toby sign the deal? I think he did, yeah. I think he signed. I don't know for sure, but I think he signed. Yeah. And so this is the thing. This is why, like, again, I continue to say there's so much news and there's so much happening. And guys, I haven't even told you, like, there's so much. There's so much. There's so much. There's so much. There's a lot. There's too much. If I told you everything, if I just got on the mic and told you everything I know about Marvel moving forward, everything I think I know about Marvel, everything I've heard, and everything I speculate because of the things that I've heard about Marvel, we would be here all day. We would be here until all day. I haven't even told you that Ant-Man 3 is going to be like Star Wars. Ant-Man 3 is going to be like Star Wars. Like, this, we're about to be going nuts. Crazy. Crazy. Okay, let's look. Right, exactly, Adam from Fanjecture. Hey, any of the OGs in here? Anybody? I've been thinking about getting Adam on the stream tomorrow to go over some of this Disney stuff. You know, he doesn't really like streaming with me anymore, but I thought, like, for old time's sake or whatever, that would be kind of cool to do. Okay, let me find Charles' article here. Oh, Jesus. Murphy's Multiverse.com. Great website. Charles is the best. Charles is the best, man. Well, one of the best. Today, he's the best. All right, hang on. Let me resize this for y'all. Holy mother of pearl. Sweet beard of Zeus on a Sunday afternoon. I can't believe it. Let's just read right through it, huh? Let's just go through it together. Our first time together. Pause the music. No music for this. It was the very first time. 34 minutes ago. Look at this. This is crazy. Do you realize we haven't even talked about Hawkeye and all the amazing leaked photos and how great Haley looks as Kate Bishop? How spot on that looks to Matt Fraction and David Aja's run. Nah, we haven't even talked about that, have we? Charlie Cox is back as Daredevil in Spider-Man 3. What? Daredevil is about to be reborn in the MCU. That's the latest bombshell we've heard from several of our trusted sources. Now that Netflix shows are toast, Kevin Feige finally has his chance to envision the characters to fit his ever-growing sandbox of multi-platform universe. Murphy's Multiverse has learned that Charlie Cox, star of the beloved Netflix show, is set to make his grand debut in the MCU in the third Spider-Man film in a deal that has been set in stone for several months now. What? Cox spoke with comicbook.com last April, and due to the rampant fan theories of Matt Murdock helping Peter Parker get out of his conundrum, was asked if he had any involvement with Spider-Man 3, an idea he denied at the time. What happens beyond that appearance wasn't elaborated to us, but any logical person would think that a series of slated at some point. But a series... Wait, what? Oh, okay. So he's saying there could be a series slated for the MCU's future. Unfortunately, Cox seems like the only figure salvaged from the Netflix wreckage at the moment. So any hope of seeing the rest of the cast is up in the air. But yeah, Daredevil got saved. That's crazy. Wow. This was inevitable. Daredevil was always going to end up in Feige's box of toys. I agree with that. The big question that surrounded the character's official MCU debut was when and on what platform. With reports of Hulu and Disney Plus merger circulating the web, a fresh Daredevil show with the Marvel Studios brand attached to it is certainly a good way to debut the series. Marvel Studios is keen on thoroughly exploring the street side of the MCU, and a chunk of their slate reflects that. You've got Blade, Moon Knight, She-Hulk, and even Ms. Marvel shows that skew towards the everyman type of stories. I would have put Falcon and the Winter Soldier in that, but I guess they're going around the planet too. Matt Murdock's alter ego recently trended on social media as the 2-year no-use clause for the character put up by Netflix came to an end. With an investor meeting came up in a few days, it's possible the show could be one of those revealed. That's true. Okay. Wow. I still kind of can't believe it. You know, like, I'm just going to be honest. Like, I still kind of can't believe it. Now, I will say that I remember one time I was talking to some people about how much Feige liked the Daredevil character, Charlie Cox's portrayal of Daredevil. And there's this one person in particular that was trying to convince me that Kevin Feige liked that character so much that it literally, that it mattered, that would help him get that character back into the MCU. And I was like, dude, it doesn't matter how much he likes the character, like this, that, second, and the third, like contracts, Netflix, money, business, blah, blah, blah. Wild, dude. For this to have went down several months ago, like, okay, so I think we really need to start thinking about, remember when he met with Patrick Stewart? Remember when he met with Hugh Jackman, who, by the way, again, Daniel Richtman, the guy that everybody said didn't know shit, that I was crazy for listening to this guy. Daniel Richtman also said Hugh Jackman very likely for Doctor Strange 2. Hugh Jackman Wolverine very likely for Doctor Strange 2. What? Guys, anything that's possible with these characters and bringing them back, Feige's been on it. He's working on it. He's figuring it out. And this Charlie Cox news just blew the doors off of everything that I thought was possible. So now it's like, holy crap. Wow. What a time to be a nerd. I would seriously consider becoming a member, because we're about to be doing a lot of content making. A lot of fun will be had. Okay, let's get into Q&A. Let's do it. It's Q&A time. I'm going to go through the super chats. You guys drop your questions in. If you really want something answered, drop it in a super chat form. If you don't have any loot, don't worry about it. Just drop a question in and we'll try to get to it. Okay. So, let me pull up these super chats. Hang on, I gotta get to the thing on the tubes. Oh wow, Charles, welcome to the Nerdvengers. You're a Nerdvengers now. I missed you, buddy, but hey, welcome, my friend, welcome. Let's see here. Dirty Nap says, "Yo, I love you, but you kind of look like Dwight Jr." That's awesome. I've actually never heard that before. Phil Cook with the $10 holla says, "Dude, you're giving me chills." Yeah, I mean, man, this whole thing is so wild. Like, I don't really know what to expect, actually. I've been thinking a lot, and for me, it's kind of gotten to this place where, okay, I kind of think I know what they're doing with some of this. I have some ideas. I have some insight. And so everything I hear, I'm just trying to, like, kind of mold it or fit it into making sense with all the other things that I've heard. And Charlie back is chills for sure. Like, Charlie as Daredevil back is chills. Now, here's the other thing that we haven't even talked about. This man's suit's about to get way better. I liked the Daredevil suit, but not really. The helmet was cool. The rest of it was okay, right? Don't get me wrong. The show's dope. But Charlie's about to get the freaking royal treatment with a Daredevil suit. This thing's about to look sick as hell. I'm very excited to see that. Very excited. Steve says, too much stuff breaking to figure out one question. Wow, stream recap are great and getting better. Oh, thanks, man. Yeah. We've been working on them. I had a meeting with Elisa yesterday, and we went over some strategies on editing the streams. And I think the one we dropped late last night was really good. She's doing great, man. She's awesome. I'm very happy to have her on board. I want to expand and get more editors involved and just keep cranking out content. I think the potential is, this is what's crazy, is like, guys, like, wow. There's going to be so much content next year to be made that, like, I'm trying to bring more people in and get people ready and get more editors and sort of grow the team so that we're ready, because, yo, this stuff ain't going to stop. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, like, we're in overdrive, supercharged, crazy time now. Chuck Taylor says, I subbed to help y'all with video editing. Theory asked for help on live. So did Al. Haven't gotten through yet. Chuck, did you send me an email? Send me an email at thedenofnerds@gmail.com. Or if you want to, I actually been setting up some new emails. We could try the new one. Josh at thedenofnerdslive@gmail.com, I believe is the other one. Or just do thedenofnerds.com. Or, Jesus Christ. Just do thedenofnerds@gmail.com for now, Chuck. Send me an email. I'll try to get to you on that, okay? Let's see here. James Heaton with the $5 holla. Was Dane DeHaan confirmed or just a rumor? Would you prefer him, Willem Dafoe, or James Franco? Could you see them bringing in Dafoe or Franco? So at the time, and I'd have to look into this, at the time, I believe it was pretty solid that Dane was coming. I think Dane DeHaan is definitely going to be in that movie. Definitely. But again, I think a lot of this is going to be cameo stuff, and it's really like, it's still going to be Peter's story, but it's going to be like, okay, let's talk about this for just a second. James, I appreciate the question. Let me just lean into this just for a second because I think it's interesting. If in WandaVision, you're going to see characters that we know from the MCU pop up in a different role. We don't know for sure that that's going to happen, but let's suggest that it's going to happen. Like, meaning, how do I explain this without, like, spoiling some stuff? It's possible that Peter might wake up and a certain person he knew in his life looks different now and is a different person. What if some crazy stuff like that starts happening on top of what's already happening, and then Doctor Strange is trying to fill in the gaps around that kind of stuff? I think we're in for a pretty wild ride, and I think the multiverse stuff, it's a problem. So that's the thing I think we need to keep in mind. It's an issue. It's a problem. WandaVision is going to be the beginning. It's the inciting incident to a series of events that are bad, that are going to lead to Secret Wars, I think. Breaking of the multiverse, etc., etc. So, yeah. But again, they have time. Like, they're gonna sort of go more slowly with that, I think. Let's see here. I would have never guessed that Cox would be there, says Whack Video Productions. I know, right? It's kind of crazy. Dinjarin says, haven't caught a stream in a while. I'm sorry. In Vegas, opening up a new branch, but whoever said there was too much Star Wars news, are you happy now? All right. Yeah, exactly. Thank you, Din. I hope all the opening goes well, man. I appreciate you. D-Men said with a $5 holla says he's earned the right to make those power plays, and they work more often than not. Dude is a gangster. Oh, yeah. I'm going to write a book about Kevin Feige one day. I'm a big-time fan. I simp hard for Kevin Feige. Yeah, I really respect the guy. I'm going to write a book about him someday. Explain the Star Wars comparison and how with Ant-Man. Plus, I've been going back and watching your older videos. Lots of fruition coming forth from it. Yeah, thank you, 34 Virgo. I thought about doing a supercut, and maybe we'll do a supercut about all the things we talked about this year and then how correct we were proven later on. I don't like to brag about it because, I mean, just to be honest with you, like, I'd rather just keep it moving. You know what I mean? Like, like being cocky and condescending, it's already like a problem for me just because the way I speak. So anytime I can like pump the brakes, it's a good idea. Like we don't want to go down that road. But I will say this, very early on in the year, I said that they should release Black Widow on Disney Plus for free. And I actually did a lot of speaking about why this was the move and why you will see same day and date theater releases, and then it'll be on streaming. So we got a lot of stuff right this year as we were going along. And I actually want to do a supercut and show that because it's kind of bizarre, actually, how much we got right? Let's see here. Okay, so let me explain the Star Wars thing. Kang the Conqueror, maybe. Fleet of ships, maybe. Doctor Doom, maybe. Fantastic Four, maybe. Multiverse breaking apart, maybe. They've gotten some of the cinematographers and some of the people that work on Star Wars to come help. You know what I mean? Like they're hiring people that have worked on those types of movies. So think big. Ant-Man 3, think big. Andrew Godoy says, thoughts on John Watts directing all the characters. John Watts is a good director. He's got an incredible team behind him. I think it'll be handled delicately. Yeah, John Watts is great, man. And John Watts might be involved in some multiverse stuff moving forward. John Watts might be anxious to dip his toe into this sort of thing. I mean, think about this. Civil War, Captain America Civil War was really the training ground for the Russos on Infinity War and Endgame. It really got them ready, right? It's sort of like a 1.0. So what do I think about John Watts directing all these characters? Yo, you got this, homie. You got this, John. Let's go. Writes reviews with the $5 holla. Says, what Marvel character do you want to see most in the MCU that has never been rumored? That would be Kane, Scarlet Spider. The Scarlet Spider, but the Kane version. Not Ben Reilly. I like Ben Reilly. Ben Reilly's aight. But I like Kane, man. All the power, none of the responsibility. That's my guy. I want to see that. Feige said they wanted to do different villains from previous Spidey movies. Can Marvel do Hobgoblin properly? Always liked him more than Green Goblin. Great point, James. Thank you for the support. Appreciate the love. Let me dig into that a little bit. Jamie Foxx kind of made it seem like he wasn't going to be blue in this version. Yeah. What if he looks way better? What if he looks way more badass? What if Feige doesn't want to just tie into these other Spider-Man movies, but he wants to kind of like do his version? He wants to kind of prove that he's like, yeah, I could have done all of this better. Again. Kevin Feige had to regulate. Pretty wild. What do you think the chances of the Fantastic Four are showing up in Doctor Strange 2 as well? The Fantastic Four may well be teased in some of these other projects. I'm not sure. I've been hearing wild things about the Fantastic Four. Wild things. But regardless, I think they will play a role in Ant-Man 3. I don't know that for sure, but I think they will. Yeah, that's what I think. Let's see what else is going on. What else are y'all thinking about? What else is Daredevil confirmed for Spider-Man 3? Not by the trades, not by them, but yeah, by a very reliable scooper. Very reliable. I'd put a lot of money on it. Charles Murphy knows. Charles knows things about the MCU. Charles knows things. Charles Revert, also with the $5 holla. Thank you so much. Josh, much love from Manayunk. Thanks for the welcome to the Nerd Vengers. You, in theory, keep me going. I used to live in Manayunk, Charles. Actually, I used to live in Manayunk, right up the hill, man. Right up the hill. I loved Manayunk. In fact, I actually thought about buying a house in Manayunk in the last couple of months. I was like, I'm going to buy a house in Manayunk, but now I'm like not so sure. To be honest with you, I keep getting spooked about moving back to Philly. I'm going to be real with you. I keep getting spooked. Josh, do you think Tobey and Andrew Spider-Man suits will change? If so, in what ways? That is interesting. That is interesting. Josh, Grace just tweeted Charlie is in talks for She-Hulk, and Deadpool is possibly going to show up in Spider-Man 3 or Doc 2. Oh, Deadpool will show up in both of them. Deadpool's going to start showing. We talked about this. I understand. It's a lot of news. It's hard to keep it all in your brain. That is why you must subscribe. That is why you must watch our show. That is why you must watch our videos. If you want to be informed, you must watch the Den of Nerds. Every day, wake up, put on Den of Nerds video. Before you go to sleep, watch Den of Nerds. Go to the denofnerds.com. Buy the Nerd Vengers merch. Den of Nerds, 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 Den of Nerds. I just had a stroke. Sorry. But yeah, we talked about that. We talked about that. Deadpool, biggest contract in MCU history. Ryan Reynolds is about to be showing up all over the place. All over the place. Yeah, man, Philly's a great place to live. I'm out in the burbs, but it's chill out here. Yeah, I like Philly a lot, man. I have a lot of Philly in me. A lot of Philly rubbed off on me. I like that city. What do you think the plot of season 3 for the Mando is about to be about? Well, we got to wait, man. We got to watch these next 2 episodes. I got a preview video on deck for you about the next episode. I was writing it last night. I think it's going to be great. So the Star Wars fans look forward to the Mando episode 7 preview video, which will drop later today. And then, of course, we'll do the edits of this video. I might do more research on the Daredevil stuff. But honestly, I think we kind of covered the Daredevil stuff quite well, actually. So, you know what I mean? Born and raised in Manayunk. Great place to live. Yeah, it's a great place, man, for sure. Using Charlie Cox's Daredevil is basically free advertising for Netflix. That's what I'm saying, CGM. I don't understand it. It's like Feige must have said, like, literally, this is the only way I can square it. This is the only way I can square it. Is Feige, either they bought the shows, or Feige literally went to Bob Iger or Chapek and was literally like, hey, man, you're right. I 100% understand, but I'm also Kevin Feige. I've made you $23 billion in gross. I'm asking for this one thing. I'm asking for this one character. I'm asking for this one not brilliant business decision. For the sake of the fans, I'm asking for this one thing. And to be honest with you, if I'm Chapek or Iger, yeah, you totally give him that one thing. You got to. He's earned his keep. He's a made man. I work for Sony, and the PS3 and PSP launches, we were briefed they wanted to release big movies first on streaming back then. It's been a long time coming. Oh, that's awesome. Also, send me an email and send me a bunch of free PlayStation stuff. Otherwise, I mean, you know, I don't care about your stuff, bro. Come on, man. Hook me up. I want a PS5, bro. Jonathan Hemlock. I don't know. We might have problems, you and me. Okay, Stu Pidio. I'd love to see Scorpion, but done properly, not like Rhino was. Any Marvel villains that you're desperate to see, Josh? Doing a great job, man. Thanks. I'm interested to see what they do with Nightmare. I would be interested to see what they do with Nightmare. I want to see what they would do with the Sentry. I want to see if they'd actually put Ares in, the God of War. That character's dope. Hercules, you know. They're not really villains, but Magneto's going to be interesting. Doctor Doom, of course. Come on, man. Doctor Doom is the main. Darth Clow. You think they'll keep TM and OG Spider-Man themes? Oh, that'd be great. If they had their OG music in there, oh, that'd be fantastic. I don't know. Love you, Joshy. Top 3 lightsaber fights, bro. Top 3 lightsaber fights. Put me on the spot. Number 3, Ahsoka Din Djarin. I know it's not a lightsaber fight. I don't care. It just gets it. It gets the spot. Shut your mouth when you're talking to me. I mean, Duel of the Fates is ridiculous for sure. Duel of the Fates is ridiculous. Let me see. I'm trying to think. Lightsaber fights. What's the best lightsaber fights? I mean, honestly, some of the stuff in the Old Republic cinematics are like crazy too, dude. Like, wicked. Let's say Duel of the Fates with here's what we'll say. We'll say the Darth Maul Qui-Gon Obi-Wan fight at number 2, and then number 1 Anakin, Obi-Wan, Mustafar. There we go. Kendall Davis with the $3 holla. Finally got you over to the PlayStation family. I know. Rough. We getting Thrawn this week? I don't know. Maybe. I think Thrawn in The Mandalorian? I don't... Thrawn? Yeah, I don't know, maybe. That'd be cool. Josh, you think the Daredevil TV show on Disney Plus? Yeah, Tony, agreed. Oscar Isaac as Snake Solid, though. Dude, right? Ridiculous. Do you think Disney would ever kill Grogu? Absolutely. It's not about the acrobatics. The tension and storytelling in the Luke Vader duel is off the charts. Very fair. Very fair. Very fair. Haven't heard anything about Fassbender shooting footage, so there better be no Thrawn, right? This is the day every week that I start getting butterflies when I think about the next upcoming Mandalorian episode, says Colisto. Yeah. 34 Virgo. Any Gambit news, bro? Nope, none that I know about. Josh, I want to hear your thoughts on what Kang is going to set up for the MCU. Kang can set up so much for the MCU. Kang is like such a ridiculous character that they can use narratively in a very interesting way. Yeah. Maybe we'll talk more about that as we get a little closer to it. Topher Grace back as Venom. Topher, I'm sorry, you're not invited to this party. I think you're going to need to, yeah. No permission slip for Topher Grace. Toby showing up at Spider-Man 3 with his original suit and music score. Woo! Little Blue Force Butterflies. Amen. What's your prediction for the team that Din is going to put together? Well, you'll have to watch the preview video that I put out later today. I'm going to get into all of that and more. It's going to be a big old juicy video. Godfather with a $5 holla says, how was the birthday weekend? Birthday weekend was great, man. I just did a bunch of nerdy stuff. I played a bunch of Magic the Gathering with my friends. For me, like, I love all these cool nerdy things. Like, I love being a big old nerd. Oh, by the way, total side note here. I'm thinking about streaming Cyberpunk 2077 tonight. I've been thinking about streaming Cyberpunk 2077. So if you would be down for watching me stream the beginning part of Cyberpunk tonight, put a 1 into the chat. If you'd come back like 7:30 Eastern Standard Time, 8 p.m. tonight, put a 1 into the chat if you'd be down. Oh, shit. Okay. Looks like a couple people down. Okay. Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. Let's stream it. We'll start at like 7:30 tonight. Come on by. Come on by tonight at 7:30. We'll stream some Cyberpunk. But to go back to digress to Godfather's question, I love all these nerdy things, man. You know me, bro. Like, I love having fun, but like, you also know that I work very hard. So, I'm very busy. I don't get to have the fun all the time that I want. And so it was great to take a weekend, literally just check out, grab all my Commander decks, love my, my Magic collection, and I'm really nerdy about it, just like I am with everything else. And, going with my buddies and playing basically Magic the Gathering all weekend was awesome. It was just great, man. So just hanging out, not really causing any trouble, just playing Magic the Gathering. So it was great. Thanks for the support, brother. Jared Saper says Mace might be the villain of the Obi-Wan show, finding Obi-Wan after searching for the other Jedi for years, only to find out Obi-Wan is guarding Anakin's son. Whoa, that would be sick, dude. And he's trying to kill him. That would be sick. Wow. Tim with the $5 holla says, just another super chat because you missed the first one, but I'm always willing to support all the good shit you're doing, so it's all right. Oh, I'm sorry, brother. What was your first super chat? Let me see. Let me see here. Let me see. Tim, much love. Much love. You're helping me out a lot right now, though. Oh, thanks, man. That's the one. I appreciate you, bro. I appreciate you. Yeah, hey, man, we're just having fun, hanging out, talking about this nerdy stuff. It's pretty wild, you know? It's pretty wild, pretty fun. And next year's going to be insane in the membrane, ladies and gentlemen. Insane in the membrane. Do you like the idea of Luke coming back in The Mandalorian? I love it. Is the Hulk out of the MCU? No. He's going to be in the She-Hulk show. We almost had no news this year about him. Do you know anything? Yeah. Mark Ruffalo will be in the She-Hulk show. Charlie Cox, backdoor to Defenders in the MCU? Maybe. That'd be kind of dope. That would be dope. Last question. Summarize the plot of Spider-Man 3 or what you think happens. It's going to be Kraven hunting him down. Peter being on the run while also trying to clear his name, while also trying to make sense of all the breaking of the multiverse. I think Doctor Strange is going to be watching over Peter. Peter's not going to be super down with it. There's going to be this big brother kind of thing going on. Peter's not going to be okay with it. Steven feels obligated because he knows that Tony would want him to watch over the boy. It's going to be a unique blending of those characters, that relationship, while Peter is getting frustrated and second-guessing being Spider-Man. And then I think while he's second-guessing being Spider-Man, he will see the impact that the other Spider-Men have had on their separate multiverses, sort of reinforcing his vigor and willingness to be Peter Parker, to be Spider-Man. And by the end of the film, a lot of things get put back into place, but not the multiverse. I hope I don't get a call later about that. That was completely off the dome. Anyway. Do you see GG coming back from Spider-Man 1? Who's GG? I'm not sure what you're referring to there. Tiki, can you see Thomas Harden Church coming back as Sandman? Yes, I can, and it would be fantastic. It would be fan-freaking-tastic. Tim with the $5 holla. Oh, okay, wait, sorry. Yeah, I already read that one. Okay, guys, we're going to call it there. Andrew of The Trials says, content is awesome. Who's your favorite commander? My favorite commander? That's a tough one. Probably my favorite commander is the Dragon. I have an Dragon deck that I've been building for a long time. It is disgusting. It is a disgusting deck. So the Dragon is probably my favorite. I also have a Urza Lord Artificer deck that is disgusting. I also recently made a deck which I'm in love with. It's a Boros equipment / enchantment deck, and it runs the new Angel Artificer lady. I forget her name, the Angel Artificer lady, but I love that deck. That one's really, really fun. Anyway, Green Goblin. Yeah, okay, we're going to call it there, guys. Thank you so much. Y'all are amazing. The support's incredible. Look for more videos on the main channel. And as I always say, I hope you're having an awesome and a nerdy day. And I'll see you in the next video. Still going. This is breath control from when I used to play tuba. You gotta just. Yeah, I used to play tuba. Shut your mouth when you're talking to me.